Welcome to the Yoga Method. Today we celebrate the winter solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. Despite being in the Southern Hemisphere, I'm from a tiny little farming community called Indian Head, Saskatchewan in Canada, where we have 6 months of snow and the average temperature is easily minus 20 degrees Celsius. So, sending my love to my family in Canada and to all of those who are celebrating the winter solstice in North America and in the Northern Hemisphere. So let's begin by closing down our eyes. And solstice is a moment of transition, the return or the rebirth of the sun, symbolizing hope and renewal. There's nothing more glorious than to realize that you have just passed through the longest night of the year. Just take one breath as we focus on rebirth, renewal, and hope. And when you are ready, blinking, open your eyes and bring your hands to your hearts. Interlace your fingers, please, as you take a breath in. And on your exhalation, tuck your chin, rounding through your spine, pressing your palms away. On your in-breath, take your hands high, and let's just pause here for a moment, exaggerating the length through the sides of the body. And if your neck will allow, just looking up to the palms of your hands. Taking one more full breath in and out. And only when you're ready, please release through your left hand, reaching and opening through right side body before gently taking a side bend. Please ground firmly into your left hand to help you anchor through your right hip and either gazing to your left hand or the palm of your right. Flooding the breath in, feeling the expansion of the breath and the body. Taking one more full deep breath in and out. And on your in-breath, we rise high before taking a gentle twist with your left hand, finding your right knee. On the inhalation, we exaggerate the lift and the length of the spine. And on the exhalation, gently, gently revolving to look over our right shoulder. Deliberately connecting with breath. Deliberately using our arm strength and our abdominals to create just the most beautiful supported rotation we can. Take one more full breath, please. And on your inhalation, returning your eye gaze. And on the out breath, let's take our arms wide. So feeling that expansion, feeling the upward lift of the heart as we feel grounded and centered. Take one more breath in that reaches the tips of your fingers. And on your exhalation, please cross your right arm over your left. Variation 1 will look like this. Option 2, you'll catch your right thumb with your left hand. And then please, on the in-breath, lift your elbows, lift your heart as high as your body will allow. And on your exhalation, bow your chin to your chest and rolling through your spine one vertebra at a time. In your own tempo, in your own rhythm, just moving in and out of extension and flexion. As we breathe in, lifting through the elbows, through the chin, through the chest, through your eyes. And on that exhalation, rippling the spine downwards, articulation through each joint. Let's take one more full deep breath in. And on your exhalation, please, as you bow to your lowest point, pause and hold here for a moment. Sending the breath between your shoulder blades, feeling the expansiveness in the back of the body, remaining centered and grounded within. One more full deep breath, please. And on your inhalation, let's rise high all the way upwards. And on your exhalation, releasing your arms, opening wide before releasing your hands behind you. Please take your legs out wide. Bend your knees as much as you need. And once again, exaggerating the lift and the length as we celebrate. Before we ease our way forward, hands resting on your thighs, your shins, your ankles, or the floor. Please take a moment as you ease your way forward to gently, gently rock from side to side, connecting to the quiet stillness that the winter solstice brings. This inward reflection, this time of hibernation. Taking one more breath with movement, please. Before we pause in our stillness, I'd love for you to close your eyes so you can really focus on how this is feeling for your body. We find stillness, but at the same time we continue to connect with the rhythm of our breath and the rhythm of our own hearts. Please take one more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, we'll rise high. And on the exhalation, as we sit tall, I'd love for you to tuck your right foot in. Please place your hands on your legs, bending your left knee as much as you need before spinning your left shoulder towards your left foot, easing your way sideways. So finding that quietness that a restorative yoga practice brings. And it is through the avenue of our breath that we create that softness, that sense of calmness. We're welcome to bring our forearms to the floor, perhaps reaching your right hand high before gently taking that arm overhead any amount that feels good to your body. Keep rolling your heart open, either gazing to the floor or the palm of your right hand. Taking 3 more breaths here. All the awareness in the right lung, the right side body. Embracing stillness. One more full breath, please. And when the time is right, please ease your way up and out of that shape. We'll slide our left foot just in front of our right, ground into the 4 corners of your left foot. And please bring your left hand in front for a very gentle, restorative, easy twist. Once again, exaggerate the length of your spine and begin to spiral to look over your right shoulder, gazing out the corner of your eyes. How tall can you grow as you breathe in? And where do you need to let go as you breathe out? Can you breathe so fully, so deeply that the heart feels merry and bright? And as you exhale, this ripple of relaxation through the body. On your next inhalation, please bring your eyes back to me. And on the out-breath, releasing your twist. Pick up your toes, interlace your fingers underneath the sole of your left foot. And then test the waters to see if you could maybe lift through that foot just a slight amount. If it feels available, we're then just experimenting with the length of our hamstrings. Keep lifting and lengthening as far as it feels good to your body. We gaze at our big toe regardless to where it is, but our primary focus is the buoyancy in the heart, the length of the spine, and the quality of breath that we are bringing to this moment. Last 2 smooth, deep breaths. One more full, deep breath in. And on your exhalation, gently, gently releasing that foot back to the floor. Slide your hands behind you for a moment and just tuck your left leg into Sukhasana on the other side. When you're ready, Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward as the breath comes out of the body, rounding through your spine any amount that feels really good to your body. A little bit more spaciousness between your shoulder blades. And on your next inhalation, reach your hands high. Please lengthen through the sides of the body, only gazing up to the hands if your neck will allow. One more full breath as you hold the heavens. And when the time is right for you, please just gently ground into your right hand, lift out of the left side body, and taking that gentle, gentle side bend when the time is right for you. Spiraling through the rib cage, anchoring through your right hand in order to ground through your left hip. And then either gazing to your right hand or the palm of your left. How deeply can you breathe into your left lung? Taking 2 more breaths. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. When you are ready, ease your way up and out before taking a gentle twist with your right hand landing on your left knee. Ground into your fingertips, lift through your hearts. Begin to rotate over your left shoulder, taking your eyes with you. And with each inhalation, a little bit more length, a little bit more lightness in the body. And on your exhalation, we return to our center, feeling grounded, connected to the earth. One more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, returning your eye gaze. On your exhalation, releasing your twist. Send your hands wide, palms towards the sky, towards your ceiling, creating that expansiveness as the light returns, as we move closer now towards longer days in the Northern Hemisphere. When the time is right for you, crossing your left arm under your right, please wrapping and catching. And I did that wrong. You're right under your left. So catching either the thumb, or if that does not feel available, we're just pushing the back of the hands towards each other. Once you have found the shape that is right for you, on your inhalation, you'll lift high. And on your exhalation, you'll tuck your chin towards your chest, rolling through your spine. Please move in your own time. How mindful can you be as you move slowly with your breath? Please take one more full round all the way upwards, lifting your chin, lifting your eyes, before bowing the chin towards the chest, the ego towards the wisdom of your heart. And let's just stay here for a moment, really deliberately opening up through the back body, the space between the shoulder blades, the lower back, the back of the pelvis. One more full, deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, please rise once again. And on the out breath, release your arms wide. Please ground your hands behind you. Take your legs out in front before moving into your wide leg forward fold a second time. We always take a moment to really exaggerate the length of the spine, the lift of the heart. And as we tip forward, we're maintaining a long spine, a buoyant heart. Sending the breath into those places where we're feeling the most tension. And then I'd love for you to once again invite just a very gentle, slow, mindful rock from side to side. So gentle movement combined with breath is such a powerful way for releasing tension in the body. And in these winter months in the northern hemisphere, we can definitely feel a sense of stagnation when we are no longer able to spend as much time outside, not getting nearly as much sunlight as we do in the spring and the summer and the fall. So really cultivating this sense of care for ourselves is so critical during the long winter months. Please find your stillness and then closing down your eyes. As we close down our eyes, we reimagine the spring that is just around the corner, full of faith, full of dreams, of what is yet to come. Taking 2 more breaths. 1 more full breath in and out. On your inhalation, we'll rise just slowly, smoothly, before easing our way up tall, tucking in with your left foot, bending into your right knee as much as you need as we ground the hands on the legs, spinning right shoulder towards the toes, just easing your way over any amount. Please ground your forearm to the inside if there's more space to play with. Your peace fingers hook into your Achilles tendon. Could you roll open just a little bit more? And then only when the time is right for you and only if your shoulder will allow, we'll reach high with the left arm, just exploring the range of motion through our shoulder and through the left side of our torso, as well as our right hamstring. So breathing in this universal breath and feeling how it opens the body. And as we pause here just for a moment more, knowing that we can bring it all to our yoga mat, we can bring it all to our yoga practice. There is space, a sacred space, for all of the things that you are carrying and for all of the things that you need to release before we move into this transition into the lengthening of the day. 1 more breath before you ease your way up and out. Please ground into the 4 corners of your right foot. Lift and lengthen through your spine. Taking a very gentle twist, open twist with your right hand forward, your left hand behind you. Ground down in order to lift up and begin to gently revolve to look over your left shoulder. So primary focus is the breath and your posture. And then we enhance that through the avenue of the abdominal walls assisting, the arms assisting, and we stay and breathe for 3 more breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, please return your eyes. Gently release your twist. Interlace your fingers underneath the sole of your right foot. Exaggerate the length of your spine and then pick up through your heel if that's possible for you. Once you arrive there, anything further is completely up to you. So we could lift the foot just a little bit. You're welcome to lengthen it even more. But we're all gazing, we're setting our drishti on our big toe. Finding the length of the spine, the lift of the heart. Feeling your own beingness. And how present can you be in this moment? Last 2 breaths. One more full, deep, deep breath in before gently, slowly releasing that foot down. I'll invite you to turn sideways on your mat if you're facing me, and let's just lay ourselves down. Once we've arrived safely on our backs, we'll hug our knees towards our heart, taking a moment to really release our lower back. Please find a gentle, gentle rock from side to side. Just noticing if anything is speaking in your lower back. So coming into your stillness now, take a moment just to close down the eyes before releasing your right foot to the earth and keeping your left knee at your chest. Sliding your right leg long if your body will allow. And then once you've arrived in the position that feels best for you, I'd love for you to open through your left inner thigh. Right hand to right thigh, left knee coming wide, creating just a beautiful release through the front of your right hip and through the adductor on the left. Take a moment to really examine the front body. Take a moment to really release the back of the body. And as we honor the stillness of the winter, we find peace, we find quietness, and we trust in the return of spring. Taking one more breath here before gently returning to the midline, and let's extend through our left leg. If this is feeling too strong, you'll bend through your right knee and ground through your right foot. But with either option, once you're ready, could you create slow, deliberate circles through your left ankle? And 5 circles one direction before gently reversing the other way. A few audible clicks are nothing to be concerned about as long as there's no discomfort. And once you've done 5 and 5, I'd like for you to begin just to now, rather than moving through the ankle joint, begin to circle so slowly and mindfully through the actual hip joint. So let's create 5 slow, smooth, deliberate circles one direction before gently reversing the other way. Just noticing how this hip is feeling, noticing how this hamstring is feeling. And when the time is right for you, please pause here. Deepen maybe just a millimeter further. Or perhaps you could just soften a little bit more. Focusing on one breath at a time. One moment at a time. Releasing layer by layer. Breath by breath. Moment by moment. When you are ready, we'll bend through the right knee and please cross your left foot over your right knee. Begin by encouraging your left thigh wide with your left hand. And then please place your hands on the floor by your hips or even coming into cactus arms. And when you feel ready, I'd like for you just to explore a really gentle tick-tock through your hip and through your lower back. So creating external rotation through the right leg, through the right hip joint, and then internal rotation the opposite way. Just do one more from side to side. Just noticing how the body is feeling. Without any criticism, without any judgment, just noticing what is. And as we return back into the external rotated position, we'll pause here. Encouraging your right knee towards the earth, encouraging your left thigh wide. Our shoulders are relaxed, they're equal upon the floor, and there is so much softness in our eyes, in our face, as we stay and breathe for 2 more breaths. One more, please. And when you are ready, using your core and your arms, come back to the midline slowly. And then pausing here to either once again press your left thigh wide or threading through to pick up and hold on to the back of your right leg, your right hamstring. I'd like for you to check that your right knee is aligned with your right shoulder. You're drawing your toes back to create stability through the ankle and the knee joints. And then you are bringing so much softness to the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders. Flooding the breath into the back of your left hip. And feeling this ripple effect of relaxation that a slow, deliberate exhalation brings. Calming the mind. Creating deep release and restoration within the body. One more breath, please. Before gently releasing the right foot to the earth. We'll snug our left leg over tightly. We'll shift our hips slightly to the left before the knees travel to the right. Spread your wings wide if you have the space to do so, or coming back into this 90-degree elbow bend. And then please gaze to the ceiling or looking to your left. Closing down the eyes as we flood the awareness, as we flood the breath into the left side of the torso. Surrendering to your own stillness. And surrendering to your silence. And as you close your eyes, we're even surrendering to our own darkness. Preparing for light. Last 2 breaths. When you are ready, gently return your eye gaze to the ceiling, and then using your abdominals, your core, and your arms, come back to the midline. Please center your pelvis, uncross your legs, gather your knees to your chest for a moment, and then opening through the thighs before standing on the ceiling in your happy baby pose. Hold your hamstrings, your calves, or your ankles. And then just finding that qualityness that a happy baby brings. Hope would probably be the number one thing that springs to my mind. Children are eternally hopeful. So finding a moment here in stillness or inviting gentle movement. So hope is being able to see that there is always light, despite any darkness, despite how long this night has been. The eternal hopefulness that the promise of spring brings. Take one more breath with movement. And then please embrace once again your stillness. Before bringing knees to chest, and I'd like for you to place your feet on the floor and come into Supta Baddha Konasana, just a reclining butterfly. Placing your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your abdominals, and please close down your eyes. Feeling gravity working its magic through the adductor, through the inner thigh, through the front of the pelvis and the back of the pelvis. And I'd like for you to count how long it takes you to breathe in. And could you double the exhalation time? So if you are breathing in for 3, please breathe out for a count of 6. If you are breathing in for a count of 4, please breathe out for a count of 8. And if you are breathing in for 5, counting 10 seconds on your exhalation. And just notice how taking a couple slow, deep, smooth breaths with a long exhalation floods the body with calmness, with tranquility, and brings clarity and stillness to our minds. When you are ready, and only when the time is right for you, we'll release our hands, we'll open our eyes and bring our knees back to the midline, please. So this time we're hugging right knee into the chest, so right knee aiming for right shoulder, before we lengthen, if it's available, through the left leg. Once you are there, opening with the right knee out to the side with the right hand, placing the left hand on the left thigh. Exaggerating the length through your left leg as you ground deliberately into your left heel. And finding that beautiful release that comes through the inner seam of the right leg. Take a little bit more softness deliberately into your head, your neck, your shoulders. And on this next exhalation, can you run the awareness down your spine, through your neck, your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, and all the way to your tailbone. Just one more breath. Before returning your knee back to the midline, keeping your left leg long or bending it, but begin to lengthen through your right leg now. Deliberately loop the shoulders away from your ears and begin to create those slow, smooth, deliberate circles through your right ankle. So 5 circles, one direction. And then reversing 5 circles the opposite direction. Celebrating the creaks, the clicks, the clunks. And then finding stillness through the ankle joint before you begin to circle really slowly, smoothly, mindfully through your whole hip joint. And just feeling the quality of movement. No comparisons, no judgment, no criticism. Reversing the direction when you're ready. Just celebrating the miracle of our bodies, of this amazing ball and socket joint. And when the time is right, please pause here in stillness. Just seeing if you can move a tiny bit deeper, or maybe just relax just a little bit more. I invite you to close down your eyes if you wish. Could you envision huge snowflakes just falling so slowly, so gently from the heavens to the earth? There is nothing more beautiful or more magical than that sight. One more breath in your own time before releasing your right leg, grounding through your left foot, and please cross your right foot over, encouraging that thigh wide. So once we've arrived with that external rotated position through the right hip joint, we'll either bring our arms by our sides or back into our cactus shape. An exploration of that external and internal rotation happening now as we maintain that shape. Never forcing anything. Just feeling how the body is feeling. Connecting, reflecting, but never judging, never criticizing, just observing what is in this moment. Taking one more of these movements from side to side. And when you cross over again into external rotation with your right foot moving towards the earth, you'll deliberately press your right knee open. You'll deliberately encourage your left knee towards the earth. And then either looking to the ceiling or turning to look to your right. Closing down the eyes, feeling what the body is feeling. Listening to the communication that arrives in the form of sensation as we embrace stillness and silence once again. One more breath. And when you decide the time is right, you'll return your eyes. If you looked away, you'll return your knees back to the midline. Please center your pelvis. And once again, encourage your right thigh wide for variation 1. Variation 2, we're threading through, holding on to the back of the left hamstring, the back leg. Checking we've got good alignment between the hip and the knee and the shoulder. As we draw the toes back, we use the strength of our arms to encourage the knees a little closer. But then we bring that contrasting energy to the back of the body, melting, softening, surrendering, and thinking of all the wonderful things a winter wonderland can bring. Snowmen, snow angels, tobogganing, ice skating, icicles, igloos, and that wonderful crazy sport, curling. Yes? So much fun to be had. One more breath, hey? One more breath. Before gently releasing your left foot to the earth, we're going to snug our right leg over tightly, shift our pelvis just a little bit towards the right as the knees travel to the left. Eye gaze to ceiling, or looking down the length of your right arm. But once you've turned your eyes, I'd like for you to close your eyes and just flood your body with your own presence, with your own awareness. Gifting yourself of arriving fully in this moment. So solstice means the standing still. And to our eyes, it appears that the sun is standing still. But we know now that spring is just around the corner. That the hope of spring is reborn with this transition time of the solstice. Taking one more breath into your right lung, the right side of your back, your right hip. And when you feel ready, you'll ease your way back to the midline. Please, returning your eyes, returning your knees. Gently center your pelvis, uncross your legs. And once again, just move into your butterfly stretch. Blessing your own body by landing your hands on your heart and your abdominals. And really just feel the divine nature of you. Your own magnificence. The miracle of who and what you are. In this moment, celebrating the season that has just been. And with hope, with anticipation, planting the seeds deep within your heart, setting any intention for this new season of spring that is being announced with the winter solstice, a rebirth, a returning of the light, and with it, the promise of spring. As far as we know, there has never been 2 winters in a row. Spring follows winter. What do you wish to come to fruition in this next season for you? Please take one more breath as you are. And only when the time is right for you, we'll bring our knees back together. We'll release our hands just so that we can roll towards each other. So bottom arm is supporting your head. You're going to catch your top leg and gently draw that back. So holding on to the ankle. If it's feeling tight, just leave your knee forward. But if your body will allow, we're gently drawing that thigh back until it's flush with our torso and parallel to the earth. Please push your hip forward gently. Kick your foot into your hand gently. And what I'm hoping you feel is a beautiful stretch through your hip flexor and through your quadricep. If you feel like you'd like a little bit more, you're welcome to hook your bottom foot onto the top leg just above the knee joint. And then we're pressing down gently as we're pressing the hips forward. So this kind of internal tug of war from the outside, nothing really is moving. But underneath the surface, which again is the message of winter, underneath the surface, so much is being cultivated. Staying and breathe for 2 more breaths. Stillness, silence. Preparing for the light. And when that stretch has gifted you with what you need, just gently release. Knee stacking. You're going to just roll all the way over onto the other side. So I'll turn my back on you for a moment. My apologies. And once we've all arrived, we're catching the opposing ankle. So bottom arm will cradle your head. Knee comes forward so you can catch your shin, your ankle. And then please draw back so that the thigh is flush with the torso. And then check that your thigh is parallel to the earth. Gently press the pelvis forward, engaging your glutes to stabilize the hip. Kick your foot into your hand to bring a little bit more stability to the knee joint. And then only if you wish, and only if you did on the first side, hooking your bottom leg just above the knee joint. Gently press down with the foot. Gently press forward with the pelvis. And even though from the outside nothing looks like it's changed, we are feeling beneath the surface the gifts that those little tiny readjustments bring. Staying and breathing for 3 more breaths. For 2. One more smooth, full breath, please. And when you are ready, releasing the foot, releasing the top knee, and rolling onto our backs one last time. If there is anything else that your body needs, take it. My lower back would definitely like one more of these, knees to chest with a gentle rock. So it's time for Shavasana. And Shavasana in particular is just this perfect essence of what the solstice represents. So our yoga practice represents a full cycle of life. And in Shavasana, which translates as corpse pose, there is a death breath to the old you, the you that arrived on your mat just a few moments ago. And in a moment after the Shavasana, there is a rebirth of the new you, shedding the old in order to make room for the new. Please close your eyes, scan your body, and really run the awareness all the way from the crown of the head to the tips of your toes. We allow the breath to find its own rhythm. We rest our awareness within our own bodies. This turning inwards, this hibernation, this embracing of our stillness and our silence, as we connect with the eternal essence of ourselves, the eternal essence of spring, of hope that lives within each and every one of us. So with your eyes remaining closed and your awareness staying with your breath, deliberately reconnecting with any intentions you wish to plant, the seeds that you will plant within the fertile soil of your own hearts for the spring that lies ahead. And if you are finding your mind is busy, just silently, internally repeating, I am hopeful. Silently, internally repeating, I am hopeful. I am filled with hope for what is yet to be within my life. Growth and transformation promised with the winter solstice. If you are able to stay in Shavasana longer, please do. Please stay as long as you possibly can. But if you need to return to your day, possibly to your to-do list, please just let it remain cast aside for a moment more. And as we bring the awareness back to this moment, I'd love for you to remain centered deep within your own bodies, centered in that place that feels like home and always whispers welcome. As you remain connected to your center, you'll begin to breathe more fully. Expansion of the breath invites expansion of your awareness. And with that awareness, feel gentle movement returning back to your fingers, to your toes, to your hands, to your feet, your shoulders, your necks. And if you have space, you might take your arms above you, taking a full big body on from fingertip to toe. Before sliding your arms down and around, bending your knees one at a time, please take a moment to gather your knees to your hearts. Hug yourselves tightly. Rock your body so gently. And rolling over onto your side towards me, we'll linger there for one deep, hope-filled breath before pressing the earth away and rising to a seated position, please. Any position that feels natural and comfortable for you. Please find the length of the spine, the lift of your heart as you bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And with your eyes remaining closed for a moment, as we honor the stillness of winter, may we find peace in the quiet and trust in the return of the light. Taking one more breath with your eyes remaining closed before closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. Wishing you a day filled with light, hope, and joy. Thank you for celebrating the winter solstice with me. Hope to see you soon. Namaste.